So first of all, I just wanted to start with a quick shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday. If anyone wants to, they can buy her a drink. She's never seen me perform before, so she'll probably need one.
Yes.
So anyway, I've been single for a few years now, and I think it's about time to get my feet wet and try again. They can't all be crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Anyway, so the problem is I really have no idea how to meet people. When you're in school, it's easy. You go out, you have friends, you go to classes, you go to parties, you meet people. But as an adult, most of the people that you spend time with is just at work, and we all know that that's a bad idea. So, the other option would be going to a place like this, going to a bar or something. But the problem is that I'm not the kind of girl who can walk in and just meet someone, unless, of course, they're a stalker with homicidal tendencies. I'm a magnet for those.
Yeah.
So I figured I have friends that have had some luck on online dating. So I decided to set up a profile. And my next problem is that basically I don't know how to compete with the girls out here. I mean, how does a regular girl like me compete with a sea of fake boobs and strippers on billboards? So basically I see it as like when you're trying to sell an old car or an old house. And so what you want to do is use fancy terms so that you confuse the buyer and they think they're getting something better. So with a house, you might hear, this wonderful house has old world charm. It's a real classic. And what you find out that means is that the walls are cracked, the plumbing hasn't been updated in a century, and most likely the landscaping has swallowed the house. So basically doing an online profile is kind of the same thing. You want to accentuate your positive qualities and leave out the bad. So basically you just have to use whatever you've got. Some girls are pretty, some are smart, some might be good cooks. Well, I guess for me, it's that I'm creative and I have a talented tongue.
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by that is that it just took a couple of words to get a rise out of you. It's just a more interesting way of saying that I write stories and I'm funny. So basically, oh wait, maybe that's why I'm only meeting creeps and stalkers. So anyway, let's say you meet somebody and you're having a good time. What comes next? That's right, so let's talk about sex. Everybody likes sex. It feels good. It makes you feel powerful, attractive, sometimes even loved with the right person. Sometimes. It's not always successful. But anyway, basically, I think that when you first are getting involved with someone, it's important to pay attention to a few things. First of all, a lot of people jump right into bed. Women especially seem to think that's a good way to get a boyfriend. But I promise, if you jump into bed on the first night, you're not making love, it's called fucking. And ladies, when you fuck on the first night, you won't get a boyfriend, you'll just get fucked. Keep that in mind. So anyway, I'd love to tell you that if you wait until there's feelings there, that you'll have this amazing experience just like what it's like in the movies. Anyone who's had sex can tell you that's awful high expectations. In reality, sex is just awkward all around, especially when you jump into it too fast. So when you get to that point, there's a few things that you can do to make it better. Number one, lighting is everything. The importance of good lighting is because you don't want it to be too bright. It should be a little bit dim. That way, if either person is shy, then they can still have fun. And you do want it to be light enough that you can see what's going on because, well, It's sexier that way. Also, because you want to make sure that the woman that you brought home is actually a woman, or that the man is actually a man. This is Las Vegas after all, and people do impersonate the opposite sex for a living. You don't think you can be fooled? I promise you can. Number 2, background noise. Please think ahead. There's nothing worse than the sound of 2 sweaty bodies that haven't quite found the right rhythm yet, clumsily slapping together. And sure, sex noises can be sexy sometimes, but lots of times, well, let's just say I'm sure I'm not the only person who's been in the middle before and thought, oh my God, what the hell is that? Is that him? Oh my God, is it me? I'm not gonna go into more details because I'm a lady, but the fact is, we've all heard things that we wish we hadn't. The next thing, really super important, limber up. Especially if you haven't had sex in a while. Cramps can and will happen at the worst possible time. I'm not sure what happens for guys, but I know for a woman, the worst thing I can think of is you get so close to the big O, and then your toes cramp. You can't come back from that. Just fake it and go home. I promise, if you try to take a break and go back, it'll happen again. And by the way, for all of you more experienced lovers out there, you know who you are. Just keep in mind, this isn't an audition for Cirque du Soleil. It's great that you know all these cool positions and moves, but nobody wants to go to work the next day and have to explain why they're walking funny and why they're wearing a neck brace. By the way, this is not a sex-related injury. Last of all, have modest expectations. Sure, sex can be great the first time, even mind-blowing. That's what I've been told. But more likely, it's gonna just be okay. But that's all right, because as long as you're with someone who you have chemistry with, and you like the way they feel naked next to you, and you like the way they smell and the way they kiss, just keep trying. Otherwise, you can just go back to masturbating to porn. Thank you.
Yeah.